Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and I've got two RAW files from a production Nikon D800. The camera is not out yet, but I did get my hands on the camera when I was at South by Southwest at the Nikon Warner basically concerts that they were putting on for 3 days. So I got my hands on a D800 there. You can see that it's number 236. That's a very low number camera, very early production one right off the line. So basically what you're going to look at here is two RAW files. They're 48, 49 megabytes each. I believe that's because they are compressed RAW files. I didn't have any time to really set the camera. Basically, I talked my way into getting to use the camera. I couldn't put my own card in it, but they allowed me to shoot. At first, they wanted me to shoot JPEG, and I said, no, I'm going to shoot RAW. And then they said that they could send me the files maybe in a week, and it's been a week almost. So here are the RAW files, and I changed it to RAW, and I shot this file 1/400th of a second, f2.8 ISO 6400 at 200 millimeters using the 70-200 2.8. So we're going to just zoom straight in. This is an unedited file. This is how the RAW file came out of the camera. You can see the eyes. You can see that this grain. Is that overly noisy? I don't know. I don't have much to compare it to. If I was able to shoot the same exact shot with my D3S and do a comparison side by side, or even with the D700, we could get a good representation of the file, or of the comparison. But this looks really, really good to me. I can see how far we are zoomed in. So when you're zoomed in to something this far, you're going to see some noise and some grain. I still think that 36 megapixels is way too many for a camera, but hey, that's what they made. So how would we process this? Well, you know how I'm going to process it. Go like that with my contrast, maybe pull back. Nah, you know what? I like my exposure a little on the bright side, some black levels here. Let's see what we do with some tone curves, some medium. How far can we take it with this? I think that's a little too far. We're going to go back to medium. We move in here. I am not touching any noise reduction. I may even bump the clarity slightly just to see what happens. But yeah, I don't touch noise reduction because I don't want to smoothen out the image. I'd rather have a sharper image than a smoothed out one using the noise reduction. Plus, this will give you a good representation. You can download the full res exported files from these RAW files on FroKnowsPhoto.com so that you can pixel peep, do what you want with them. I'm not going to put the RAW file up because that's just a huge file, and a lot of people would try to download it and chew down my servers and stuff like that. Plus, you need Lightroom 4 in order to open this. So here we go. We've got this file. It's pretty close to where I like it already. Let's see. Black levels. I like the black levels thick. Shadows. You can see what the shadows do to the background. I don't want to go, you know, Still getting Lightroom 4 under the belt, but I still like it. Nope, too much on the highlights, pulling back a little bit. We got that. Let's see what we can do with the color. Pull back on the yellow, too much. Go up on the yellow. Let's see. Undo. Yeah, a little bit of yellow will do it good. Boom. Don't want to go too far on the magenta. But this is basically where I can see this file. So I'm going to put it up as is. Let's see some more contrast, though. A little more contrast for my liking. Let's look at the background. So we've got the dark areas. Yeah, that's grain, noise, whatever you want to call it. But you can see how far we're zoomed in 1:1. If this was printed really big, it'd be I think it would be perfectly fine. I'd like to compare it. I would love to compare it to something else, but I want to shoot in the same environment, all images in the same environment, really. So I'm just going to show these images as they are and let you guys make up your mind. So that's the first one, and here is the second one. I really love this shot. And literally, I had 2 minutes to shoot, and I did it. So a little bit on the exposure, boomify my contrast. I'm going to go back on my exposure again. I'm going to leave it in color. I'm not going to go to black and white. You can see what that does. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go too far in the shadows forward because that helps. That basically brings out the noise. But you can see this 1/500th of a second, 2.8, 6400, 165 millimeters on the 70-200 lens. It looks good, and this is good. Again, look how small. When you're pixel peeping, her face is this big in the image. It's not huge. So when you zoom in 1:1, you're going to start to see stuff. But this, I don't know what the equivalent of this shot would be, but I'm pretty happy with this. You know, I love the shot. I'm really happy with this shot. Not too much editing that I'm doing here. Let's see the color. I think it looks good right there. Let's get some highlights up in here. Too much, don't want to go too far in the highlights. Some white, boom. Let's see, tone curve. That, a little too much this time. We're just going to keep it right there. And here's the shot. I like this shot. You know, you're seeing it. So I'm not going to pixel peep. I'm not going to tell you what you know, whether this is good or whether this is bad, because I really don't have anything to compare it to right now. But I have to say, I like the image. I was happy shooting the camera. It's a little slow at 4 frames a second, but then again, I don't motor drive through my shots to begin with, so I left it on single and just shot. The autofocus is fine. It handled very well. Again, it's not a full-on pro body because you got to add the grip. There's nothing like holding on to a D4 or a D3S or a pro body, but a D800 is a good camera. I would just like to compare it to a 5D Mark III file at the same thing. But really, that's it. These two files shot at 6400. I will export the full reses. They will be on FroKnowsPhoto.com for you to play with and to download off of the site. I hope you enjoy it. Take a look at these files. Make up your own decisions on what you think about it. And there you have it. That's a Nikon D800. It's a very early production model, but it is a production camera, and these are the images that are coming out of it. And there you have it. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya. Click here to see the Nikon D800 preview video.